especially in these most trying times, to open their facilities and their hearts to the marathon, and you is truly very special. But you and the Marines are very much alike. Neither of you take no for an answer, despite facing enormous odds, whether it be in your battle against leukemia and blood-related cancers, or theirs against our country's sworn enemies. Both you and they truly honor our commitment to mankind, and for that, both the Marine Corps Recruit Depot and the United States Marine Corps are the perfect organization to receive the 2007 Wilt Chamberlain Award. And to accept the award on behalf of both, please welcome Colonel Warren Forsch, who has been our go-to man ever since we moved to the finish of the race to the depot 7 years ago. And wherever he goes, peace seems to break out. That's what they say. He actually wrote the peace treaty for NATO to stop the war in Macedonia in 2002. Colonel Warren Forsch.
That peace treaty business is a long story, and that was probably a more gracious summary than I deserved. I was only a part of NATO, and I did take lead team to Macedonia, stop the civil war there, but there was a lot of other people working hard to get it. Hey Tina, that's a lesson for you. We don't know why God chooses us to do certain things or what our role is in life, but I joined the Marine Corps to be the next legendary war-fighting leader, the John Wayne, the Chesty Puller. And I'm probably the only colonel serving today, 30 years now, who's never been in combat. So I probably know my role was to do what I did in the Balkans a few years ago. I have a son though. My father raised my family, 5 boys, to serve. He said, service before self. And he said, that's our motto, and that's what we do in this family. And I sort of raised my family to do the same thing. I have 4 sons and a daughter. I have my oldest son currently serving on his 3rd tour to Iraq. My daughter's graduating from Loyola Marymount University out there in West LA pretty soon, and she's going to be a diplomat. And I had the opportunity, my other sons are still a little bit young, but I had the opportunity to get a phone call from my son in Iraq just about a week ago. And he reminded me that in his earlier tours, I used to always tell him, now listen to your sergeant. He's a leader, he's been there before, he knows what he's doing. If he says get down, you get down. He's going to save your life, he's going to make sure you come back in one piece. And I did that the 2nd time, and that was my pep talk. And this time, when I started to give it to him and remind him again on the phone, he goes, hey, Dad, I'm the NCO now, I'm in charge. He goes, I don't have an all-star team. You know, he has 12 Marines that work for him. And he says, I don't have the best 12 Marines in the Marine Corps. But one thing I know, I've trained these guys, and they're the best 12. And the reason I say that is because you're the best 4,000. It doesn't matter how fast you run the race. It's the fact that you're part of this team, and when you cross the finish line, you're part of the best 4,000. All of you in the Marine Corps have a lot in common, and that's why we support this great race and this great opportunity here in front of all of you. We both like fitness. We're both determined and enthusiastic about what we do. We love music, rock and roll, right? Marines hymn. And we all have a great sense of team. There's 1 or 2 other things I'd like to say before I thank Tracy here and Al. And that is, it's a great group to belong to because committed givers, people who are committed to service, are the happiest people in the world. Okay, with that. And so with that, I'd like to thank all of you and the 20-some million you've helped raise. I'd like to thank Tracy there. I'd like to thank the folks that run and lead and giving us, the Marine Corps, the opportunity to host the Finish Line activities. So on behalf of Brigadier General Salinas and the United States Marine Corps, it's a true, distinct honor and privilege to accept this award. Thank you.
I think it's only fair to tell you that this afternoon when General Salinas was here, she made it very clear that she's in charge of the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in the Western Recruiting Region. And one of the reasons that she thought that this was a great deal for the Marine Corps was that written into our contract, and we really hadn't paid much attention, was that anybody that didn't finish in front of the SAG wagon was immediately inducted into the Marines. She did promise them a new haircut. She did promise them 3 square meals for 12 weeks. She did promise them an entertaining relationship with these nasty DIs, drill instructors. But so please, for your own sake, beat the SAG wagon. Whatever you do, ride on its hood, beat the SAG wagon. Top fundraisers. I mentioned Larry Hausner earlier. He's the COO of this organization, a magnificent organization. And I just want you to know, it's not all about winning for them. It's not all about how much money you bring in. He was told last night that he was in 2nd place. If he found another $9,000, he too would have the Will Chamberlain Award, the New Balance shoes, and the Dale Jarrett UPS jacket. And he thought about it for a moment, but then he said, no, that'd be insider trading. I can't do that.